Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Upper L End of the Year play. This year we are doing a Grimm Night for Hans Christian Andersen. Does anyone know who Hans Christian Andersen is? Yeah, he is a famous fairy tale writer. He wrote many that most of you guys probably will recognize, like The Little Mermaid,
The Princess and the Pea,
Hansel and Gretel, and many, many more.
In some of the scenes in this play, you'll see that there are many songs, so you could say this is a play. And also there will be lots of humorous jokes that you may not get, but we've been trying our best to make them more understandable just for you.
Also, we worked really hard on this play, so we want to make sure that we're being courteous to the actors and actresses.
So just sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Thanks.
Denmark, 1835. A book of fairy tales was published.
But this was not any just book of fairy tales. It was a book by perhaps the greatest storyteller the world has ever known.
His name was Hans Andersen.
Hans Christian Andersen.
The only child of a poor cobbler who left the school at the age of 11, Hans Andersen.
Hans Christian Andersen.
Excuse me, but what do you think you're doing?
Who? Me?
Yes, you. What do you think is very rude to whisper in public?
Is it? Of course it is. If you got something to say, come up here and say it.
Could you stop that?
Sorry. But while you're at it, maybe you can explain what gives you the right to interrupt our prologue.
Well, it's not that important. It's just that you're getting the name wrong.
Getting the name wrong?
What name?
Well, you two keep saying Hans Andersen, and it's actually Hans Christian Andersen.
You interrupted after that? For goodness sakes, the guy's called Hans Andersen. Doesn't matter if you put his middle name or not.
Most people say Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh, do they? Well, we don't, okay?
And now, if we can continue without any more interruption.
Thank you. Hans Andersen
Hans Christian Andersen.
has created some of our best loved children's stories, including The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, and of course, The Steadfast Tin Soldier.
You don't mind using some middle names now, do you?
What do you mean?
Steadfast Tin Soldier?
Steadfast Tin. Tin wasn't his middle name, you little elf. It was what he was made out of.
As a matter of fact, Steadfast wasn't his name either.
Wasn't it?
No, it just described his character.
He never gave up, you see. He was in love with this beautiful doll, even though loads of horrible things happened to him. And he only had one leg. He never stopped trying to win her. That's what steadfast means. Someone who just keeps going on and on.
Like you two keep going on and on getting the name wrong?
Yes, I mean, no. Right, that's it. We've had enough.
What?
You aren't even supposed to be on until the elves and the shoemaker scene, the second half. So just be it, all right?
Thank goodness for that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without any more delay, let's take you back to Copenhagen in the year 1835. Back to the days of Hans
Christian
Andersen.
And so, the Little Mermaid stabbed the prince in the heart and swam down to live forever with her sisters under the sea. Yes.
And then, at the end...
Mrs. Rich, I do know my own stories.
Of course you do. And here's me rattling on like an idiot.
Exactly. Oh. Now, get that off to the publisher now, will you, Mrs. Rich?
Certainly, Mr. Anderson. You know, I don't know what the children of the world would do without your stories.
All in a day's work, Mrs. Ridge. All in a day's work.
Sorry. I think I'm in the wrong spot.
They bring the world of magic, of sadness and of joy. There's princesses to rescue, a soldier that was slain. I am and Anderson is my name.
Two gentlemen to see you, Mr. Anderson. The Grimm brothers?
The Grimm brothers. I don't suppose by any chance you mean the brothers Grimm, Mrs. Ridge.
What?
My fellow storytellers?
Your fellow? Oh, of course, the brothers Grimm. Oh, Mr. Anderson, how exciting.
Send them in, Mrs. Ridge. By all means, send them in. Gentlemen, welcome. Delighted to meet you. Take a seat. We might do, Mr. Anderson. We might even take more than a seat. Have a look around, Willie. See what he's got available. I'm not sure I follow. Or look. Is there a problem of some kind? Problem? Problem, oh yes. You see, I was strolling around a bookshop yesterday, just minding my own business, when I came across this. The Wild Swans? Yes, The Wild Swans, by Hans Christian Andersen. Good story, very good. Sad ending though. A poor lad had to win one arm and one wing for the rest of his life. Very tragic. I remember how tragic it was when I wrote it. Only then, it was called Six Swans. It's not the same story at all. There are 11 swans in my version. Come, Mr. Anderson, the basic elements are the same. Brother Stern the Swan says she's not allowed to speak until she finishes making magic shirts for them out of flowers. Nettles. Whatever. Sister said the death hasn't quite finished the last shirt. Blah, blah, blah. Need I say more? It's a retelling, that's all. A retelling. Yes, it's common practice. One takes a legend or a folk tale and retells it. That's one indeed. Yes, one does. You have to admit that many of your own stories are in fact versions of earlier tales. There's one vital difference though, Mr. Anderson. There is? And we ain't very happy about this retelling of yours.
Not very happy at all.
Come, gentlemen, I didn't mean anything by it. This is only one story, one out of 100. But odds, ideas as well, Mr. Anderson. Take your Thumbelina, for example. It's obviously a total rip-off of our Tom Thumb. And I'm sure if we look closer, we can find more examples. Sit down, Mr. Anderson. I think we better explain something to you before we go any further. Hit it! They're scared of me, and I'm with them.
and gentlemen, the Frog Prince.
I had a frog when I was a kid. My mom said he ran away, though.
Long ago, a king and his lovely daughter lived on a fine castle with magnificent grounds.
They were as happy as the day was long.
Naturally, the king's daughter had many valuable possessions.
But the one that she valued most of all was a beautiful golden ball. Up and down, she would throw and catch this beautiful golden ball. From first light of the morning to the setting of the sun.
It was her favorite amusement.
Naturally, the king's daughter would take the ball away into a gloomy wood. She would sit and play with the ball by a fountain.
But one day when she was playing with the ball did not roll back into her hand. Instead, it rolled into the fountain.
She began to cry, as if her heart would break.
But then, suddenly, another voice was heard.
The voice of an ugly frog. Why are you crying, princess? What? Was it you that spoke just then? It was. Why then I will tell you my sad news. My golden ball has just bounced away and fallen into the water. Don't cry then, for I can help you. If you will give me what I ask. I would give anything for my golden ball, dear frog. Only name my price. What shall it be? My dresses, my jewels, maybe my crown? No, fair princess. None of these. All I ask is that you let me be thy friend and playmate. Let me share thy meals, let me drink from thy cup, and let me sleep on thy pillow at night. Oh, dear frog, of course I will promise you all of these things if you would just... No, I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Cut, what's wrong?
I'm sorry, Neville. It's this screenplay. It's awful. I agree. Very disappointing. I turned down a Woody Allen film to do this, you know? What's happening? It's this script. I mean, okay. Suspension of disbelief and all that, but not suspension of brainstem activity. Who wrote this stuff? Hey! I mean, look. Fine castle, magnificent grounds, but supposedly my father lets me hang about in a large and gloomy forest? I did wonder about that. Social services would be on your doorstep before you could say none. Exactly. I must admit, I'm finding it hard to get into the character of Frog. I mean, apart from croaking, the whole thing seems rather two-dimensional. I know. No realism at all. I mean, where would someone play catch with their most precious possession? Right next to a fountain? Duh! Okay. So it's a bit unbelievable, but that makes it a fairy story. And I'm telling you, this is like a documentary compared to the rest of this evening's entertainment. Really? Oh well, suppose you just have to put up with it then.
I'm telling you, if it's realism you're looking for, you may as well get your coats on now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you The Little Mermaid. I want to speak to Mr. Grabbit now. I'm so sorry. But Mr. Grabbit is with the ugly duckling just at the moment. Oh, is he now? We'll interrupt him. I'm sorry, but I can't. In any case, that young lady is before you. Oh, yeah? And who's she when she's at home? She's the princess from The Princess and the Thief, one of Mr. Grabbit's most important clients. Really? Bye, Mr. Grabbit. Thanks again for trying.
You're welcome. And don't worry, there'll be other parts.
I know. I don't suppose I really did stand much chance against Julia Roberts anyway.
Mr. Grabbit!
Excuse me.
I need to talk to Mr. Andersen at once. Read this.
If you don't mind.
And so, the Little Mermaid threw herself to her death in the dark raging sea, where her body dissolved to foam
down, please.
Calm down? Calm down? What happened to my 5-year contract?
Miss Mermaid, please.
I wanted the sharks. Who does he think he is? Steven Spielberg?
Excuse me, I've been waiting here almost an hour to see Mr. Krabs.
Oh yeah, and what do you have to complain about so urgently? Having trouble climbing up into all those mattresses, are you? Get yourself down to B&Q, buy a stepladder, and shut your trap. Whoa, really?
Miss Mermaid, there's no need for it.
Isn't there? I think there is. These humans don't know they're born.
She has no confession. How would you like it if you had to wake up every morning saying you couldn't sleep because you had to pee in your bed?
There, princess, don't get upset. Perhaps you can take the princess down to my office and get her a nice cup of tea.
A Shirley Temple.
Or a Shirley Temple.
Certainly, Mr. Rabbit. So what are you going to do about it?
Miss Mermaid, it's hard to do something about the plot. That's the whole prerogative of the author.
That's what Miss Starper said to me. I said, why did I have to be left with one wing? He wouldn't even listen to me. Just said it was up to the author.
You see?
But it's ridiculous. The whole thing's just a big fiasco from start to finish. I mean, you negotiated me a main speaking part, right? And what happened? 2 days into rehearsal, my character trades her voice in for a pair of legs, and the rest of the story I'm just like an aquatic version of Harpo Marx.
I know.
You have to do something, Mr. Rabbit. It's just not fair.
Don't talk to me about fair.
Hi, Dalton. See there. How's things?
Could be better, to be honest.
Haven't broken up with a steadfast tin soldier?
No, actually, we got engaged last month.
Hey, congratulations! Oh, you lucky thing, getting hooked up with such a star like that. Seeing Steadfast Lace action roll, bungee jumping out of a 3rd-story window, being swallowed by a fish. That's what you call a part, not this rubbish you're fixing up for me.
Please be, but
Did all his own stunts as well, and he only had 1 leg.
well, to be... Miss Mermaid, please.
Can't imagine his agent letting him be sold down the river.
Well, to be pedantic, he did.
Did what?
Get sold down the river, or canal to be precise, in a boat made out of newspaper. That's how he became to be swallowed by the fish.
Hey, Doll, what's the matter? See what you've done? You're not getting upset about that silly old fish, are you? Steadfast made it out of there, okay? He made it back to the nursery. You know he did.
I know, and everything was fine, but then, for no reason at all, there was a twist in the tale. Some little boy picked him up and threw him in the fire. This is all I have left of him, so don't talk to me about fair.
Sorry, but I didn't know. That's terrible.
I know, and the worst part is we just sold the wedding rights to Hello Magazine.
Is there anything I can do?
No, I don't think so. He's melted now.
No, I mean for you.
Oh, I see. No, I was gonna try out for an extra in Rapunzel, but I'm not in the mood anymore.
Makes you realize how lucky you are. But I'm still not happy about this ending. You must be able to sort something out.
Ugh. I'll have a look at the contracts, but I doubt there's anything I can do. Now, I really can't keep the princess be waiting any longer. Have a seat, and I'll be with you shortly.
Really can't keep the princess waiting any longer. Crawler, just because we're mermaids. That's typical. It's so pointless being stylish when you haven't any legs, and you love to wear a pretty pair of shoes. I'm so jealous when I see the princess tottering along in a really fancy pair of Jimmy Choos. Oh, a mermaid's life is not a happy one. It's just swim, 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 and it's very little fun. It's so pointless being stylish when you haven't any legs. Oh, a mermaid's life is not one I would choose. It's so pointless being stylish when you haven't any legs, and you love to wear a skinny pair of jeans. I'm so jealous when I see the denim clinging to the thighs of the glitterati princesses and queens. Oh, a mermaid's life is not a happy one. It's just swim, 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 and it's very little fun. It's so pointless being stylish when you haven't any legs. Oh, a mermaid's life, you don't know what it means. Oh, no, they didn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your enjoyment, Rumpelstiltskin.
I still think we should have named him Willie.
This the place to register your baby's names.
That's right. Come in, please. Would you like to take a seat? Ooh, yes, thank you. Now, this won't take long. May I have your names, please?
Stiltskin. Mr. and Mrs. Stiltskin.
Mr. and Mrs. Stilton. Right. What name have you chosen for your child? That would be telling. I beg your pardon? Have a guess. What? That's a fine silver contrast there, isn't it, Father?
Very fine indeed.
Thank you. Tell you what, if you can guess the baby's name in 3 guesses, you can keep your pet. Otherwise, we get it and everything in this office. What? I believe I don't understand.
Oh, don't do that. Will you understand when you see us drive away with your fax machine? Hey, Mother?
Oh, yes, you'll understand that. You'll understand that, all right? Mr. and Mrs. Stilton, I have to say, I don't think you were taking these things at all seriously.
Seriously? That's a lie!
Mr. and Mrs. Stilton, please. Come on, guess his name. Guess the baby's name.
Guess,
Guess, guess, guess. Very well, very well. Is his name Barry? No. Could it be Jack? No. She'll never guess little Rumple's name, will she, Father? Rumple Stilton. Right. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the red shoe?
Ladies and gentlemen, Briar Rose.
I don't know why, but this one always makes me really sleepy. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present for your enjoyment the ugly duckling. That was so fun. Her makeup was terrible, though. I mean, how do you expect? Did she do it in like Las Vegas or something? Dude, what is wrong with her? I really don't know. What? Oh, can I help you? Yes, I come for an appointment. What? Here? Yes.
I want your full treatment. The complete makeover. The one your advert that says total satisfaction or your money back.
Is that what our advert says?
Yes.
Oh, dear. Well, I'm sorry. I don't think we have any appointments left just now. No, we haven't. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I booked already. I phoned up this morning.
What was the name?
Duckling, Miss You Duckling.
Duckling. Duckling. No, I can't see it.
Isn't that it?
No, that's a totally different name. Sorry, there must have been some mistake.
But I booked. I phoned and booked this morning.
Sorry.
Well, can I make an appointment for another time then?
I'm afraid not. No, we're completely booked up.
Until when?
A long time. A very long time. Absolutely ages. Bye. May I present for your enjoyment the Princess and the Pea.
hope so. This is Princess Sonia from the palace.
Princess, how nice to hear from you again. What can I do for you today?
It's about that mattress one bought last month, the super comfy Suzalong Deluxe.
Oh yes, lovely mattress that. Very good quality.
That may be so, but one is finding it, well, rather uncomfortable.
Is one?
One is, yes.
The usual problem, I suppose.
I'm afraid so.
Lump underneath it?
That's right.
About the size of a pea?
Yes.
Well, Princess, as I think I've mentioned before, there are often teething problems with the new mattress. I'm sure it will settle down given time.
Given time? How much time is one supposed to give it? It's been almost 3 weeks now, and one hasn't gotten a wink of sleep.
I see. But would you like me to send someone round to plump it up a bit for you?
Certainly not. Now listen to me, my good man. I'm not one for complaining.
Could have fooled me.
But this is simply not good enough. This mattress was extremely expensive, and it claims here to be, wait a minute, mold to the shape of one's body?
It does.
Well, it doesn't mold to mine. Or, of course, if you're suggesting that the royal bottom has a dent.
It would have if I got my boot onto it.
Pardon?
I said I'm sure we can get to the root of it. The problem.
Well, I jolly well hope so.
Princess, I'm not meaning to be rude, but do you realize this is the 17th mattress you've complained about?
Yes, I do. And do you realize, even when my mother-in-law put 17 mattresses on top of each other, I still felt a sharp pain in my backside?
I'm sure you did.
What was that?
Nothing. Well, I guess we better send you another one to try out.
Well, I hope so. And this time, make it without lumps. Good day.
Help!
Oh, one cannot sleep with a lump in one's bed. Though it's small, it can seem like a hump in one's bed. Even one tiny hint of a bump in one's bed can be very irritating in the night. Oh, one cannot sure as to where in the bed, but one knows to one's cost that it's there in the bed. All the sleep one is lost is not there within bed. It's so very irritating in the night. One can swiggle and squirm, one can wiggle like a worm, one can give all the bedding a shake. No one cannot see a thing like a pea, it can keep something softly wide awake. Oh, one cannot sleep with a lump in one's bed, though it's small it can seem like a hump in one's bed. Even one tiny hint of a bump in one's bed can be very irritating in the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present Hansel and Gretel.
I could really go for a gingerbread house right about now.
Excuse me. I was wondering if you could give me some directions.
Sorry, I don't live around here. Actually, I'm lost myself.
Oh dear.
You won't believe it, but I'm looking for a trail of crumbs.
Crumbs?
I know, pathetic, right? My brother left them on the trail so we could find our way home. I'm afraid Hansel never has been the brightest penny in the piggy bank. I just seem to be going round and round in circles.
Don't suppose you've passed a gingerbread house, have you?
Gingerbread house? You won't believe it. I've just escaped from there.
It's a small world, eh?
Certainly is.
So, can you tell me how to get there?
Oh, just head around in circles a few times.
going through the bars instead of his finger, was he?
No, I found a copy of the Atkins diet at the bottom of his cage.
These kids today try to take advantage of a poor old woman like yourself.
I know! It's terrible!
Anyways, Miss Switch, I've come in response to your call. What seems to be the problem?
Well, there are three things, really. I hope I'm not being a bother.
Not at all. You just fire away.
Well, the main thing I'm worried about is the icing on the walls. It's all cracking.
Oh, that's nothing to bother about.
No?
Happens all the time in these new builds. It'll soon settle down.
Really? Well, that's reassuring.
And you're sticking for it?
The windows seem to be sticking a bit.
Ah, that'll be because they're made out of toffee.
I wondered if it might be.
Just the hot weather. Nothing to be concerned about.
Oh, good.
And you said there were three things?
Oh, yes. I don't want to make a fuss, but the chimney seems to be sort of gradually disappearing.
And which chimney did we put in again?
The chocolate one.
Ah, there you are then. It's melting.
Of course it is. Oh, I do feel silly bringing you all the way out here for nothing.
Not at all, Miss Switch. Anything we can do for you, call me up and leave it. Just remember our slogan. Our best isn't good enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present for your enjoyment the Steadfast Tin Soldier.
No, if there was no guards on the spinning wheel, there'd definitely be a claim. I know. Look, just hold until I get there. It won't be long. Sorry.
That's all right.
Now, Mr. Tin Soldier, I believe you're hoping to make a personal accident claim.
Yes, I am.
Oh, we saw your advert on the television. No win, no pay.
Is that right?
It is.
Good.
Now then, perhaps you could quickly fill me in on the background of your accident. I presume it's concerning
My
leg?
what? No, I've always had one leg.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I just assumed.
Not at all. It happens all the time. The fact is, I was one of the big batch of soldiers made out of an old tin spoon. I was the last one, and when they came around to me, well, there wasn't quite enough tin to go around.
I say bad luck.
I've learned to live with it. Mind you, it did put a bit of a damper on my ambition to be a kickboxing champion.
Yes. Well then, I'm in a teeny bit of a hurry, so maybe we could get into the accident question?
Of course. Well, basically, I had a terrible fall through a third-floor window and plummeted headfirst onto a stone pavement.
Third? What was the cause of this accident exactly?
It was all very sudden. I'd been put on the window, so you see, and I was just standing there minding my own business when all of a sudden, out of the blue, the window catch sprang open and down I went.
Did you suffer any injury?
Any injury? You're joking. I've already said I went 3 floors down head first onto a stone pavement.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I think we have a valid claim here.
Really? Who against?
Firstly, the person who carelessly put you on the windowsill.
I see.
Secondly, the manufacturer of the window.
Told you.
And thirdly, possibly the armed forces.
The armed forces? How can I have a claim against the armed forces?
Well, was your helmet padded to withstand a fall from 3 stories up?
No, but...
There you are then. We'll have the forms ready to sign by tomorrow morning. Now, if you'll excuse me, the briber's pricked her finger case is going to be a big one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rapunzel!
Why do I never get announced as one? I mean, I do have hair like her. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present for your enjoyment the Emperor's new clothes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week edition of Makeover Magic. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are again trying to bring our skills together to help somebody who just cannot get their wardrobe right.
Our target tonight is an emperor who's stuck in a right royal rut.
For years now, he's been wearing the same old ermine robes and crowns.
But with the big parade coming up next week, he needs a complete change of style. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Emperor.
Now then, Emperor, let's see some examples of the kind of outfit you might be thinking of wearing for this grand parade. What is this supposed to be?
It's the robe I got when I first became Emperor, my favorite one.
It's horrible. No style at all.
Who told you these colors would suit you?
I don't know, really. I just like them.
They're appalling. Dreadful. They have to go.
This is the most disgusting piece of clothing I've ever seen.
And this looks like something the cat dragged in.
It's hideous. All of it. But what am I going to wear?
Majesty, we have just the thing. Now, before we show you this, Your Imperial Majesty, we have to let you into a little secret. The clothing under this cover is no ordinary outfit.
You mean it's designer stuff? Better than that, it's magic. Magic? Now listen, as Emperor, do you have to appoint people to high positions?
What do you mean, like steeplejacks?
No. I mean important people like registrars and judges. That kind of thing.
Oh, yes. Quite a responsibility, I can tell you.
Well, wouldn't it be great to know who is good at his job and who is a waste of space?
It certainly would. This suit can tell you.
Get it? Brilliant.
Your Imperial Majesty. I don't mean it actually tells you. Oh, what does it do then?
Well, you see, Your Imperial Majesty, the clothing under this cover can only be seen by people of great intelligence and understanding.
Really?
Absolutely.
So you're saying that somebody's a bit thick would see nothing at all?
That's fantastic. Amazing. I don't believe it.
Naturally, Your Imperial Majesty, you are skeptical. So let us demonstrate. This audience looks a very intelligent lot, don't you think?
Well, I suppose so. Some of them anyway. Not her over there, obviously.
No, obviously. But some of them. Why don't you take the suit down and show it to a couple of the brighter-looking ones? Demonstrate to His Imperial Majesty how it works.
Good idea. You look intelligent, sir. Have a look at this fabric. What do you think of it? And you, madam, feel that. Isn't that the finest material you've ever felt? Feel the delicate embroidery on the hem? Beautiful, isn't it? Excellent, excellent. Let me see now. Certainly, Your Imperial Majesty. Ta-da! You're speechless, aren't you?
Can you imagine what you will look like dressed in that?
I bet you can't wait.
Well, there's no need to wait any longer. Take them away, try them on, and let us see all of the results. Well, that's almost all we have time for tonight. In a minute, we'll be seeing His Imperial Majesty for the first time in this fantastic new suit of clothes. Join us next week, and we'll be trying to get Little Miss Hood out of those very unflattering red cloaks. But for now, it's goodbye, so we welcome back our subject of this evening, the Emperor.
ladies and gentlemen, the elves and the shoemaker.
Now that I think about it, I could use some new shoes.
Once upon a time, there was a poor shoemaker and his wife. They hardly had 2 pennies to rub together. And with each passing month, things just seemed to get worse and worse.
The shoemaker had tried everything. He had worked and worked. He had begged and borrowed. He had even taken out a loan to consolidate his existing debts and reduce them into one manageable monthly payment.
But all to no avail. One night, all that was left was leather enough to make a single pair of shoes.
The shoemaker laid the leather out, ready to cut in the morning, and went slowly upstairs to bed.
The workshop was dim. Suddenly, other sounds were heard. The pitter-patter of tiny feet. The working of little tools.
And then, at the stroke of midnight,
Right, you lot of freaks! Drop the hammers! Thought you were getting away with it, didn't you? Unlucky. We've been onto your little game for weeks. What have we done? Don't play the innocent with me, Mr. Elf. You've been in here with your mates every night.
Well, yes, we have, officer, but we were only trying to help.
Trying to help yourselves, more like.
But that's ridiculous. We are kindly folk, motivated only by the concern and goodwill for others.
Yeah. I wish I had a fiver for every time I've heard that one. You're nicked, my friends. You and your pointy-eared mates.
All right, it's a fair cop. I would prefer to be secluded and left to our own devices.
Only a human would be so clouded and judging. Come on, let's get moving.
you guys get caught.
Yeah, gotcha. Get out of here.
For your City appointment, Doctor.
Yes, nurse, send her in. Oh, right, who's that again?
Yeah, me, Duckling.
Oh, yes, send her in. I'll be just a minute or two with Miss Doll here.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and pass me over a couple more syringes of Botox, will you?
Certainly, Doctor.
There, Miss Doll, just as I promised. Every wrinkle gone. What do you think?
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Not at all.
It's beautiful. Not a dinkle in sight. I'm never to visit it. Thanks again, Doctor.
Not at all.
Are you ready for the ugly duckling now, Doctor?
Yes, nurse, send her in. Sit down, Miss Duckling. What can I do for you?
Well, you see, I saw your advert in Quack magazine and I was wondering if you could help me. You see, whatever I do, I always seem to feel kind of ugly.
When did you start to have these feelings, Miss Duckling?
Since I hatched, really.
Can you tell anyone about this?
Only my family. My mom seems to understand, but my siblings, well,
They're not supportive?
no. All they said was, Quack, get out of town.
That must have been very distressing.
It was. I virtually hid myself away for a whole winter time.
Well, I'm sure we can help you. Miss Duckling, what did you have in mind exactly?
Mainly my beak.
I see. Well, I'm sure we can give your beak a little more shape. Maybe make it a little thinner, more elegant.
Could you make it a bit like a swan's beak, maybe?
It might be possible.
Great.
Now the next step will be to make another appointment so that we can...
I'm not finished yet.
Oh.
I was wondering if you could make my neck a bit longer, too.
Oh, yeah. Miss Duckling, cosmetic surgery is a serious business. You don't just pick anything that takes your fancy, like choosing tins from a supermarket shop.
Don't you?
No, we surgeons have a duty to think about every single operation and the effect it'll have on the patient. And quite apart from all that, well, frankly, Miss Duckling, what you're talking about will cost a huge amount of money.
That's okay.
No, I mean huge. We're talking megabucks here.
Really, Doctor, I'm telling you, the money's not a problem.
But, just a minute. You're not that talking that won the lottery roll over last week, are you?
Well, yes, I am, actually.
Why didn't you say so? Just sign here and I'll look for tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see tales of love and of laughter, of death and deceit, of music and mayhem, sorcery and spells. The end of the contest has come, and I have to say, in my mind, it is quite clear who will win. I agree. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't want to influence you in any way, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, far be it from me to want to put pressure on you in any way, but, what's going on back there?
What do we want? Happy endings. When do we want them now? What do we want? Happy endings. When do we want them now?
What the?
What do we want? Happy endings. When do we want them now? What do we want? Happy endings. When do we want them now?
What do we... Happy
When do we want them now?
Friends, now you all know why we're here today. To protest against the terrible storylines we're being forced to accept. It's gone beyond a joke. Here! Take Briar Rose here, put to sleep for 100 years. That's right, and I wasn't even tired. I could have gone on for years. Now I totally lost track of Coronation Street. What about you, Swansons? Tell us your story.
I had a promising career as a concert pianist until Jacob Grimm got his hands on me. Now I can only play the triangle if somebody holds it up for me.
That's a shame.
It's not right. No, it's not right. It's not fair, and we are not putting up with it.
Hooray!
Who decided I'd be drowned? Had to give my voice away just to walk around. Who decided, or didn't they care? Now I don't like complaining, but it's
Just not fair.
Who decided I'd be wed? Have to get my voice. Only if I felt a pea hidden in my bed. Who decided, or didn't they care? Now I don't like complaining, but it's just not fair.
Who decided he'd be stuck, looking like an idiot, flapping like a duck?
Who decided,
Or didn't they care? Now we don't like complaining, but it's
Just not fair.
Now we don't like complaining, but it's just not fair.
Now we don't like complaining, but it's just not fair.
It's time we took action. I propose we demand more realism, believable plots, and happy endings for all.
Hooray!
Say, that's a bit over the top, isn't it? Who do you think you are? Well, isn't Mr. Hans Christian Andersen? And over there, I believe we have the famous Brothers Grimm. Stay where you are and drop the bad thingy. we'll condemn them!
Yay! Characters, friends. As I look around today, I see many familiar faces. Rapunzel, the Emperor, Princess.
Get on with it!
Right, yes. Now, naturally, some of you feel you have grievances.
Darn right we do.
Yeah, why does nobody like us ugly characters for a start?
Here, here.
Personality themes account for nothing.
Duckling, I understand what you're saying, and I'm sure the rest of you feel you have perfectly reasonable complaints, but what you're not seeing is the global view. You see, I admit most of you do have pretty difficult lives.
You can say that,
But equally, most of you do end up with a happy ending. Take a look at Snow White, for example. Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, all married to handsome princes not skiing in cloisters every winter. But you see, every story can't have a happy ending. We have to get the message across. Take a look at the moral of The Little Mermaid, for example.
Leave my morals out of this.
No, the moral or message of The Little Mermaid is...
Don't sell your voice to a sorceress without reading the small print.
No, it's to be happy with who and what you are and not keep wanting what you can't get. In your case, legs. The ending is a punishment, if you will, for being greedy.
Thanks a lot. I didn't seem to notice any of that in the Disney version.
No, but I'm not Walt Disney, and neither is Mr. Grimm there. We can't just shell out any old thing that looks good and sells videos. We have to show the triumph of good against evil. And if you look at most of our stories, you'll find we do a pretty good job.
What about the little match girl then?
Yes, the little match girl. Well,
She wouldn't hurt a fly, and she died in the snow, trying to keep herself warm by striking matches. Where's the justice in that?
Yeah, where's the justice in that?
You haven't let Mr. Anderson finish. He was just about to explain why these rather unpleasant storylines are necessary.
I was? Oh, yes, I was. It was on the tip of my tongue.
If you'll allow me, Mr. Anderson.
Be my guest.
As Mr. Anderson was just saying, we do understand your problems, but we also understand what makes you tick. You're not here for the money or the fame. We're not. Of course not. You're here to make kids understand the tough side of life, that things can go wrong and they don't always turn out for the best. Oh. Yeah, right. I mean, as a well-known psychologist once said, the fairy tale is a moral dimension well accepted by the leading exponents of the behavior school as providing a crucial and sometimes decisive factor in the development of the merchant personality during the formative years.
Yeah, what he said. We need to continue to work together, whatever the cost. We need you. We appreciate you, and so do all the children of the world.
So what's this about cutbacks then?
Cutbacks? What?
I hear there's a plan to reduce our industry to only one. Story. Shame you! Exactly. Some of us would be looking at cuts of over 50% in take-home pay. How could you? See, look at those guilty faces. That's how much they really appreciate us.
No! I don't know where you could have gotten a hold of such a story, Miss Mermaid. Cutbacks? Only one storyteller? Why, my friends, the Brothers Grimm and I are always keen to encourage and support each other.
Of course we are. There's plenty of pie to go around.
Yeah, there's plenty of pie to go around. Exactly. In fact, at the moment, we're planning a multi-million-pound blockbuster in collaboration with Steven Spielberg. Hooray!